This is the Varsity Sports Show, your home for youth, high school, college sports, and you. Empowering education and enabling dreams. Right here on the Sports Map Radio Network. Now, here's your host, Vince DeLisio.
Good morning. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show here on the Sports Map Radio Network, wherever you are listening from, coast to coast across the country. My name is Vince DeLisio, and this morning, wherever you are, it could be afternoon wherever you're tuning in from, but I am at the Great Park of Irvine in Irvine, California. I am in Orange County, California this morning, reporting from an incredible event called the Terry Donahue Memorial California Showcase. Terry Donahue, of course, as you know, was the winningest coach in the Pac-12 history, Pac-10, Pac-12, and now nobody is going to beat that record because basically the Pac-12 is going away with schools bolting to different conferences after this year, or after this last year, I should say. But it's a showcase. There are over 400 high school seniors here, all vying for opportunities to get football scholarships from over 50 schools. There are 50 football schools here from Division II, Division III, NAIA. Guys, you listeners that are in Southern California, if you're within an hour of this place, get in your car, get down here. You got an hour. Bring your cleats. It's a free event, which is unheard of. This foundation, the Terry Donahue Memorial Foundation, is sponsoring this event with many other industries that have collected their resources to make this a free event for student athletes. All these different showcases and 7-on-7s, and I'm not knocking anything, but I'm telling you guys, this is free. And all these other events, a lot of them cost money to participate in. You want to get an evaluation. It's NFL Combine style. They got a tent set up that once you get your score, your evaluation, you head to that tent. You got colleges sitting there that are going to interview you, and you could walk out of here, high school seniors, with an offer. I had to come out here. I had to get in my car, and I had to drive out here to see this firsthand. And we're going to be joined by some representatives from the event as the show goes on. Talking about the show, we're represented coast to coast. As you know, we are a platform for students that are majoring in journalism, broadcast media, and we've got a real good one with us who's from the University of Florida in Gainesville. His name is Eitan Ohana. He's in Gainesville, so I'm on the West Coast, he's on the East Coast. Eitan, how you doing this morning?
Hey, Vince, I'm doing great this morning. I'm excited for this national hour, and I'm excited to get to showcase some of the awesome work my fellow interns have done this week.
Yeah, it's going to be a great morning. We are so excited. Wherever you're listening from, whether you're in Tampa, St. Petersburg, Florida, whether you are in Albany, New York, whether you are in Oahu, whether you are in Phoenix, Arizona, whether you are in El Paso, Texas, Houston, wherever it is, Minneapolis, Minnesota, thanks for tuning in. This is an awesome event. We are privileged and honored to present it to you, and as we do every week with our show, and tell your friends to listen to the Varsity Sports Show as we continue to grow and become an incredible platform. Where do our students come from? Our students, obviously, are in Phoenix, Arizona. That's where our show originates from. But we've got students at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. We got students at the University of Arizona in Tucson, Grand Canyon University, Arizona State University, Texas Southern University in Houston. We got students, as my broadcast partner this morning, from the University of Florida, Gainesville, and more. Stay tuned. We got more coming online. If you are interested, if you are a faculty member of one of the many colleges and universities across the country, if you are an administrator, if you are just an interested a student, if you're a family member of a student, get in contact with us. Email us, info@varsitysportsshow.com. Find us on social media, every social media platform. We are there. Twitter, @Varsity Show. I guess they call it X now. @Varsity Show, and every other platform. Just Google, type in Varsity Sports Show. We are there, varsitysportsshow.com. Get in touch with us, and you can get involved with a credit-earning program to intern with us and really cut your teeth in this industry. I am so excited because I have a friend here. His name is Phil Camp. He's one of the organizers of this event that is going to talk to us about the event and what is going on out here. Coach Camp, I hate to put you on the spot, but we literally have less than 2 minutes, and I want you to talk to our audience about the showcase here in Southern California. How are you, sir?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
I just grabbed you. You look like you were just taking a walk. I said, "Come on over, Coach."
Yeah, I did. There's a college coach here from Knox.
Okay.
And he had on his stuff, and I said, "Are we having fun?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Let you know about this, Coach. 5 years ago, I was going through this.
Yeah.
And because of the showcase, I went to Knox. Now I'm coaching here."
Wow. Coach, how many, and I apologize, we literally have 30 seconds, but how many student athletes, how many high school seniors are going to be here today? I saw that line. Look at that line. Wow.
They're saying that 350 to 400 registered.
Okay.
Usually have about 25 to 30 walk-ups. I'm thinking in that range, 350 to 400 guys. And you know what? If one kid leaves here with an offer, then we've done our job.
Well, and that's true. And speaking of which, you mentioned walk-ups. So we have fortunately, we've got a pretty wide base of listeners here in Southern California. If they're within an hour of this place, the event kicks off in approximately an hour. They get out here. What do they need with them besides a pair of pretty good shoes?
If you have a transcript, that would help.
Transcript, okay.
And just come on out and compete.
And more importantly, they don't need to bring any money with them.
Nope, it's all free.
Wow.
When we started this 16 years ago, we said it was going to be free for the college coaches.
Yeah.
And free for the kids. Coach for so many years in inner city Houston, my kids didn't have money to go to camps.
Yeah.
So we decided we were going to do something free, and it's stuck that way.
Awesome. Coach Phil Camp, this is an amazing event. One of the organizers of the Terry Donahue Memorial California Showcase. Just a line of kids, a line of coaches. You got a tent over there where kids are going to sit down interview style to review their results with their transcripts and all of the combine testing that they've got here. This is going to be an incredible, amazing day. We're going to put stuff on our social media after we go off the air in less than an hour of all that. Meanwhile, we have a show that we're doing as well. Coach, thanks again for joining us. And we're going to take it away with our East Coast Report.
The East Coast Report.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning into the Varsity Sports Show on Sports Map Radio Network. This is Tyler Hatala from Grand Canyon University reporting from Phoenix, Arizona. And as many of you know, the NBA All-Star Game was this last Sunday, and it was a game for the history books. It was the first time since 2017 that the NBA would use the Eastern Conference versus Western Conference format rather than the draft-style format they've been using for the last 7 years, and would also switch away from the Elam scoring, which had a set score limit, and would go back to regular basketball scoring. This year's All-Star Game Eastern Conference head coach was newly hired Milwaukee's Bucks head coach Doc Rivers. He qualifies the head coach of the Eastern Conference as Joe Mazzulla, head coach of the Boston Celtics, already coached the All-Star Games last year and made him ineligible for return this year. The night prior, Damian Lillard in his 8th All-Star Game appearance, being the first time he was announced as a starter and the first with the Milwaukee Bucks, went on to win the three-point contest with a score of 26 in both the first and final rounds, and went on to win the All-Star MVP, putting up 39 points as well as shooting 11 from 23 from the three-point line, being the first player to win both in the same weekend. This game in particular broke 3 NBA All-Star Game records, as it broke the most points scored in an All-Star Game, with the total score being 397 points. It also broke the record for the most points scored by a team in an All-Star Game, with the Eastern Conference scoring 211 points, as well as being the most three-pointers made in an All-Star Game, with there being 67 of them. The Eastern Conference would go on to win with a score of 211 to 186. This is Tyler Hatala from the East Coast Report, reporting from Grand Canyon University on the Varsity Sports Show on Sports Map Radio Network.
Hey everyone, this is Koby Braunstein from Arizona State University reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Division I hoops are approaching postseason play, and UConn men's basketball is the clear favorite to cut down the nets in April. The Huskies lost 5 of their top 8 scorers from their national championship squad a year ago, but are arguably more well-balanced and experienced than last year. All 5 of the main Husky starters are averaging double figures in the scoring column. Fifth-year senior guard Tristan Newton, sophomore forward Alex Caravan, and 7'2" sophomore center Donovan Klingon have flourished in increased roles from last season, while grad transfer Cam Spencer and freshman phenom Stephon Castle round out a lethal starting lineup. With that being said, the Huskies snapped a 14-game winning streak spanning 2 months on Wednesday, February 20th at number 15 Creighton. The Blue Jays sank 14 three-pointers in a 19-point victory despite being out-rebounded 32-30 on the glass. Newton was terrific in the loss, tallying 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists. It was a quick turnaround in a hostile environment in Omaha after a 28-point trouncing of then number 4 ranked Marquette just 3 days earlier in Storrs, Connecticut. When UConn is firing on all cylinders, they're hard to beat. 18 of the Huskies' 24 wins have come by double digits, and they've had 6 different players lead games in scoring. Head coach Dan Hurley has his team fixated on back-to-back national titles, seeking to be the first program to do so since the Billy Donovan-led Florida Gators in 2006 and 2007. I'm Koby Braunstein from Arizona State University, and you're listening to the Northeast Report on Sports Map Radio.
Good morning and happy Saturday. I'm Olivia Hansen from the Grand Canyon University reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. On Saturday, February 17th, all eyes were on the three-point contest during the NBA All-Stars event. For the first time, this contest featured a WNBA player, Sabrina Ionescu. Sabrina faced...
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Imagine learning about radio and being mentored by true radio professionals in real radio stations. Well, actually, you don't have to imagine, because there's Radio Connection. Radio Connection gives you the opportunity to learn one-on-one and be mentored by radio pros. Plus, you don't have to worry about getting into a crazy amount of debt with school tuition either. Radio Connection keeps their tuition at much lower costs. To find out more info, visit radioconnection.com.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
The diehards.
And then all of a sudden, a sweeper pitch comes in. She goes, Donna, what's a sweeper? And I looked at her and I went, I don't know. Hey, Siri, what's a sweeper pitch? What is going on? Like, I felt like I was lost, and I'm like, I cover sports. I know this. Again, I'm a knucklehead fan on the radio, but I'm like, what is this? And then I'm seeing slurve, and I'm going, What? Like, am I gone?
The Diehards, weeknights from 8 to 10 Eastern on the Sports Map Radio Network.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show on the Sports Map Radio Network. Now back to your host, Vince DeLisio.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show on the Sports Map Radio Network and to all of our 100 affiliates nationwide. Thank you for tuning in this morning. I am live at the Great Park of Irvine in Irvine, California for the Terry Donahue Memorial Showcase and California Showcase. What an event. There's over 400 participants this morning. There'll be over 50 colleges represented, doling away scholarships to any number of participants here today. The event is free. Guys, if you're within an hour's drive of the Great Park of Irvine, walk-up traffic is allowed. Come on up, bring some shoes, and you don't even have to bring money. This is a free event. It was enough for me to drive 400 miles to get here to cover it, and I am just excited to present it, to be part of this event. A lot of fun. We're going to turn it over, and speaking of being on the West Coast, we're going to turn it over to our West Coast report. Mike, take it away.
The West Coast Report.
Good morning, America. My name is Alexandra Medina, and I am a sports journalism student at Arizona State University. And you are listening to the Varsity Sports Show on Sports Map Radio Network. Ed Smith, a former professional Major League Baseball and National Football League athlete, has been an inspiration to high school athletes across the nation. Ever since Smith was a little kid, he grew up dreaming of becoming a professional baseball player. Smith's parents had always encouraged him to play football. This led him to play both sports. After turning down multiple football scholarships, Smith was drafted by the Chicago White Sox directly out of high school during the year of 1987. Smith played for the Frankfurt Galaxy and was later signed to what was then the Washington Redskins and now the Washington Commanders. Smith later was a part of the Atlanta Falcons and was part of Super Bowl 33.
If you experience other sports, you develop other athletic attributes. If all you do is baseball, all you're going to be good at is a baseball player. You're not going to be an athlete. I saw how important it was, everybody from the first guy on the roster to the last. My job was just as important as the number one guy. And a lot of times we lose, our job is as important as the superstar, that side of that. Nobody's job is unimportant. It's as important as you make it. And I was just a kid who loved to get out there and play. And when I didn't have kids to play with, I'd go do it by myself, just to keep myself occupied. And I just knew that's what I wanted to be and do.
Thanks for listening to the Varsity Sports Show on Sports Map Radio Network. I am Alexandra Medina reporting.
What's up, everybody? It's Seth Kordich reporting out of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas for the Varsity Sports Show. This week in Las Vegas, we have a knockout segment, the Las Vegas Masters Boxing Championship. Masters Boxing will have their 5th annual championship tournament this weekend at the International Sports Center here in Las Vegas. It'll be starting on February 23rd until Sunday, February 25th. And don't be mistaken, this is no small event whatsoever. There will be over 300 fighters competing this weekend. There'll be fighters from Australia, England, Germany, Canada. People all over the world are flying in to compete in the Las Vegas Masters Boxing Championship. This is a tournament for anybody 35 years of age or older. You compete against other fighters that match your age, weight, and fighting experience. All for a small admittance fee of $150, you get a chance to fight for the weekend of your life. Friday will consist of a meet and greet to get all participants familiar with the event and to assign a coach for any boxer who traveled without one. Saturday and Sunday is where the games begin. Weigh-ins start at 7 a.m. and the fights begin at 11. There will be 2 rings for non-stop action. The doors will open for all spectators at 10:15 a.m. But if you can't make it to Vegas to watch the fight, that's okay. You can watch the fighters battle for a chance to fight Sunday through their live stream for only $10. It's going to be an action-packed weekend here during the Las Vegas Masters Boxing Championship, and let me tell you, I am excited. Reporting from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, I'm Seth Kordich, and I'll see you next time.
Good Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Varsity Sports Show. I'm Alex Shulman with the University of Arizona, bringing you your rodeo report. U of A is getting ready for their first home rodeo of the season on March 2nd and 3rd, and they are excited to compete with the help of their new head coach, Charlie Buchanan. The team recently became a club sport at the U of A and have been struggling to find funding, coaches, and practice facilities. Buchanan has a facility for the rodeo students to come and practice, and will hold practice for any athlete who requests it, even if it's only 1 or 2 students. Buchanan grew up in rodeo and knows what it feels like to be a competitor, and he wants the students to have fun in the arena. U of A is home to the oldest collegiate rodeo team in the nation, and they hold 7 national titles. Last year, U of A Rodeo had 2 athletes at the College National Finals Rodeo. The athletes are excited for the next step in gaining recognition as a team and look forward to the upcoming season with Buchanan. I'm Alex Shulman with the University of Arizona, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Thank y'all for listening.
This is Angelo Scaturro from the University of Nevada, Las Vegas with Varsity Sports Show. Here's a recap of all the action in the Mountain West Conference in just 2 minutes. We kicked things off with Tuesday's slate of men's basketball games in which Utah State beat San Jose State 68-63, Boise State beat San Jose State 82-55, and Nevada beat Wyoming 76-58. The 3 winners from Tuesday all came from their home crowds. For most Mountain West teams, baseball season has begun. The baseball matchups that were shown on Wednesday were Sacramento State taking on Fresno, while San Diego State hosted the CSU Northridge campus. Sacramento came on top against Fresno 8-5, and CSU beat SDSU 7-5. For men's college hoops, New Mexico beat Colorado State 68-66, and UNLV beat Air Force 72-43. For the ladies, it was Boise State defeating New Mexico, UNLV beating Wyoming, Fresno State shutting down UNR, San Diego State beating Air Force, and lastly, Utah State had a nail-biter with San Jose State, but held on to secure the victory 71-70. This weekend we'll see a full slate of baseball and basketball games as they make their final pushes to hopefully appear in a March Madness bracket. For Varsity Sports Show, Angelo Scaturro reported.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show on the Sports Map Radio Network nationally. Ladies and gentlemen, Vince DeLisio here, and to all of our national affiliates across the country and the 100 radio stations that are tuning us in live right now. I am out at the Great Park of Irvine in Irvine, California for a very special event that is being sponsored, brought to you by the Terry Donahue Memorial California Showcase. I'm here with a parent. I got a parent here joining me. His name is Darnell Horton. He's from the city of Los Angeles. He brought his son here to participate in this event. Mr. Horton, first of all, I caught you off guard. But I tell you what, you got a face for radio, so I couldn't pass on the opportunity. I had to bring you over. You excited about this event for your son? Yeah, pretty cool event, and this is what's great about it is there are scholarships abound. I mean, you've seen some of the college coaches walking around. How do you feel? First of all, what school does your son go to?
Crenshaw High School.
Crenshaw. What is your son's first name?
Darnell Jr.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, Darnell Jr. So, and what position?
Linebacker.
Linebacker. He's a linebacker. Does he play any offense?
All the time.
He looks like he plays some offense, too. So,
yes.
Anyway, what are you hoping to accomplish here today by having him participate in this showcase?
Just that he can get, like, a scholarship or
sure.
Some offers from colleges to play football.
It looks like you brought some stuff with you. Do you bring some transcripts as well? Not today? Not yet. Okay, you'll have them. Hey, it's a phone call away, right? And an email away. That's easy to get. The big thing is you got to get him on the field and let him see what he can do. You got over 400. Look at all these people here. Isn't there some? You see all the guys in the white shirts over there. Those are college coaches over there. So they're we got to be on our best behavior, Darnell Jr., and you got to test. What's his event? Does he have an event?
I don't think so.
7-on-7? He's a big 7-on-7 guy. Wow. Okay. And he's actually a big guy. How tall is he approximately? How much is he weigh?
2.
Okay.
220.
Yeah. Top competition in Crenshaw. I mean, pretty good team this past year.
Yeah, they took it almost all the way.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it's nice that the distance for you to get here, probably over an hour to get here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I want to wish you all the luck in the world today. I'm really excited. I'm sorry I put you on the spot, but you were sitting right there, so I couldn't help it. I had to do it. So anybody at home that you want to say hello to?
His family.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Darnell Horton Sr., Darnell Horton Jr., good luck. Crenshaw High School is well represented today. Does he have any teammates here today?
A few. No.
No, that didn't make it today. They couldn't get up early, could they? Oh, you're not sure. Okay, well, you see 400 people here. There's bound to be one or two. All right, guys, stick around here on the Varsity Sports Show. Thanks again for joining us. We're out at the Great Park of Irvine. I'm going to turn it over to a break, and then we'll be right back after the break. Go Varsity.
Hi, my name is Alani. A little thing I like about the Spicy Deluxe sandwich is that you taste the crunch, you taste the pepper jack cheese melting, and you taste the spicy flavors in the sandwich. I'm telling you, 10 out of 10.
Hi, my name's Enrique. A little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's Spicy Deluxe sandwich is you get that rich flavor of the chicken and definitely that nice, tangy, warm bite. It's the perfect harmony of spiciness and taste.
Order the Spicy Deluxe sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
You're going on a trip, but where are you going to stay? How much will it cost? Well, it'll cost less by booking on besthotelrates.com. BestHotelRates.com works with all the top hotels in the country while delivering you great hotel and room choices for the best prices. Why wait? Go to BestHotelRates.com, enter your email address, and start shopping for your next hotel room. BestHotelRates.com, it's in the name. BestHotelRates.com.
Wake up call! I have to say, there's something about Christian McCaffrey's story that is pretty funny. Like, he's being completely wasted in Carolina. And then he gets traded to a team that was already stacked. And now he's back in the Super Bowl. It was like he was never on the Carolina Panthers.
You know what it is? It's becoming a Mandela effect.
That's right. Like, do you remember when he was on the Panthers?
No.
No, I do not.
What are you talking about?
Wake up call with Tony D and Ron Culver. Weekdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern.
Sports Map Tonight with Luke Morrow.
But the most annoying part about flying, of course, is always the people. I can't stand the people that cut the line. As soon as the plane lands, they're up out of their seat and they're running towards the front of the plane. And especially when I try to stand up to get out of my row and they don't stop for you, they just keep passing you.
Oh, man, I think we'd be plane enemies.
You and I?
I think so.
Why? You're one of those? You're getting right off the plane?
I am one of the guys who try to jump and rush off the plane. But I will let people in if they're like, people keep passing them up.
Yeah.
I will let them in line.
Oh, well, at least you'll do that. Unbelievable. You're reclining your seat. You're cutting to the front of the plane.
I only recline my seat with kids. That's the only one.
Oh, okay, if you say so. What about when it comes to boarding the flight? Do you wait till your zone, or are you up, like, hovering around?
No, I wait till my zone.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but oddly enough, they always think I'm military whenever I come.
Oh, really?
Like, I always get asked.
Yeah, I can see that. You fit the role.
Sports Map Tonight, weeknights from 10 to 1 Eastern.
The Die Hards.
There's a lot that think they're the king, you know what.
And those shows out there are awful.
But I've also been very good at grooming co-hosts to be like really national spectacular talents. And then I sit here in my basement broadcasting live.
This is funner.
I suck.
This is funner.
Funner. Is that a word? Funner? You don't even drink.
No.
The Die Hards, weeknights from 8 to 10 Eastern on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Wake up call!
There is a Missouri couple, Tony, that recently celebrated, you ready for this? Their 80th wedding anniversary.
Oh, wow!
80 years of marriage needs to be highlighted.
Are they saying things like, the secret to 80 years of marriage is
they have it.
Lots of bourbon and sex?
Nope, because that would be fantastic.
Or, when you hear somebody like, how did you live to be 110? Oh, I ate cheeseburgers every day and drank a lot of booze.
Bertha gave her secret to a successful marriage, which is never go to bed angry.
Yeah, well, that is kind of true.
I wish it was bourbon and sex. That would be fantastic.
Wouldn't it be? I mean, come on.
Honey!
Yeah, I know. How many men would take that article and go, hey, you want to live to be 100?
And be married to this guy for 80 years?
Look at this couple. Look what their secret is. Wink, wink.
Wake up call with Tony V and Ron Culver. Weekdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern.
This is the Varsity Sports Show, your home for youth, high school, college sports, and you. Empowering education and enabling dreams. Right here on the Sports Map Radio Network. Now back to your host, Vince DeLisio. The Varsity Sports Show, big time guest of the week.
All right, guys, we are joined by our big guest of the week. He's actually a two-time Super Bowl champion, played over 10 years in the league, was an All-American in college. This guy came up through the ranks, played 4 years. You know, you get people that jump ship after a time, and he realized the need to develop and had camaraderie, and this was before NIL. His name is Ruegamer. He played at Arizona State University, played in the NFL, played on multiple teams, was drafted by the Dolphins, played for the Patriots, played for the Packers, played for the Giants, earned a couple of Super Bowl rings, and played with some pretty darn good people. Here on the Varsity Sports Show is Ruegamer. Gray, welcome to the program.
Vince, thanks for having me, man.
I am so excited to talk to you because I've known you 30 years now, and I saw you come up through the ranks. You grew up in Las Vegas. You went to Arizona State. We were there for a time together, and you developed and you grew. Talk about the foundation. First of all, let's back up. Let's talk about the recruiting process from what you remember and how you ended up at Arizona State out of high school.
You know, I was not a big recruit at all. I was kind of a skinny, fat kid coming out of high school, and I didn't stop growing until I got to ASU. So I was just, playing football in Vegas and ended up on the radar of some small schools, UNLV, that being the local one, and they saw me on tape because we played this little game of knockdown, and whoever is just for fun, for points or whatever, and and in order to have a knockdown, you had to be on film. Well, to be on film, you have to be around the ball. So we were always running after the receivers and just trying to knock people down. And I got noticed that way.
So you came to ASU and you were a 4-year starter. And you started 4 years. And I remember your first start was against the University of Washington in 1995 up in Seattle. And you were an offensive tackle for a couple of years, and then you moved inside to center. What was that transition like for you?
It's a vastly different skill set going from the outside to the inside, interior offensive line play. And it's, you go from having space to having no space. You're playing between two guards, now you're making calls, and you're typically dealing with the bigger dudes on the line, the nose tackles, the three techniques, that type of movement outside. At the time, they were kind of smaller and faster guys. So the transition was tough just because it's a different set of, techniques. The
one thing about, first of all, you started in the Rose Bowl. You actually started on a couple of bowl teams, but the Rose Bowl probably being the pinnacle your junior year in college. What was that experience like?
Hindsight is 20/20. It was awesome. I think we had such a unique team at that time. All the guys there. It was another game that we wanted to play and win and dominate. But you realize, after the fact that you're playing in the Rose Bowl, this huge venue, and even more so now, watching bowl games. And I watched, the Rose Bowl, and I remember being on the field and some of those things. So it's super cool. I mean, those are experiences very few people get to have, and I was fortunate to play with a bunch of great dudes and coaches on that field. And unfortunately, we lost. To that school over, in Ohio.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not bitter.
No, of course not. No. And then fast forward, another year. You played in the Sun Bowl the next year and had a stellar season. You were Playboy All-American, and it was just did you meet Hugh Hefner, by the way? I was going to ask you about that.
No, I did not want to meet Hugh. I wanted to meet everyone else associated with
everyone else at the house, at the mansion.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about the NFL draft. So when you were getting ready for all of that, those guys come in, those scouts, and they poke and prod. You do a bunch of tests. What were some of the projections? I know ultimately you were a third rounder, but how did all that shake out?
So, the draft is a weird thing because, every team has a pick. There's 32 teams, every round, and you just kind of hurry up and wait. I don't know where I ranked. I think I was one of the top centers in the country, and I don't know where I was, ranked as far as, getting drafted. But a lot of people say, oh, hey, yeah, you're going to be a first-round pick. I hear it from our guys, who we pick up now with the Packers.
Right.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be a first-day guy or whatever. Dude, it's all based on team need. So I didn't put a lot of stock into it. And after, some of the players that I knew were coming off the board that were offensive linemen, centers, guards, you pay attention. But I was out in San Diego and I just went for a swim. I went out in the ocean, screwed around, got salty, came back in, had a beer. Was like, all right. Well.
Once again, you are listening to Green Bay Packers Director of Player Development, Ruegamer. Okay, so transition before we get into your NFL career and really talk about that. Let's take a step back. And today, now you've got NIL and you've got players, collegiate players jumping from team to team. That wasn't the case way back when, with your team at Arizona State and being, picked to finish in the middle of the conference and then playing for a national championship with, over 20 guys that ultimately signed NFL contracts. Yep. How would things have been different if there was NIL back then?
Well, I probably wouldn't have had to eat 5 for $5 tacos and 5 for $5 at Arby's, with the last of my loot check money.
Yeah.
I probably would have had a little better nutrition.
Yeah.
I don't know that it would have changed the way we operated because we had a tight-knit group.
Yeah.
We held each other accountable. And if you missed a workout or a practice or you just like something flipping happened, or like, oh yeah, hey man, I forgot. That did not fly.
Yeah.
And there was, a high amount of accountability there. And I don't know that NIL would have affected that piece of it, but yeah, definitely nutrition probably would have been better. I might have drank more beer and ate more pizza, but it's college.
We're a staple in college. Yeah. Played in the Super Bowl in 2001 and it was Tom Brady's first one. Did you realize how good the guy was back then?
No. I mean, he could manage games. You knew he had talent. I don't think anyone could have predicted, the career that Tom had, unless you probably asked Tom. Tom probably always knew.
Yeah.
But, there's the inklings of it, right? You can see the seed and the development.
And then, of course, transitioning into retirement. You got into fitness and working with athletes, and then ended up back where you spent 3 to 4 years of your career, director of player engagement. How, what type of insight can you give guys in your current role now that you think could help them maybe that you didn't have when you were a player?
I think a big piece of it, especially what we see coming out of high school and college, is you see like a one sport player or like a very specific, hey, I only play right guard or I only play D tackle. Dude, play as many sports as you can. Become an athlete, because the true sign of an athlete is if I can put you in an uncomfortable situation or position and you figure it out because you're a good enough athlete to do it. And then work ethic, like just be useful. And that's what I think a lot of kids do. They want to specialize. They want to do these things. That actually doesn't help you.
Yeah.
It's gonna wear you out. And I see it more and more with the guys coming up through in my position, trying to mentor them and teach them about being a professional. All they've ever done is football. And it wears you out. And by the time you get to this level, if you're fortunate enough to get here, it is very much a business and you have to treat it as such, but you have to have outlets to relax, to get away from football. And that's why playing other sports or having other hobbies is really a good thing at this level. And like the NIL stuff, I get it. I think it's a benefit for some of those kids, but if you're portal hopping because you're just chasing the money, man, stay as long as you can in college, because the NFL is probably not going to work out for you. Because when a coach rides your butt at this level, you're probably on the verge of getting fired anyway. And that money, hopefully you saved your money in college, because it's not going to come from the NFL.
Do you still see a lot of young guys coming out and getting into the league, taking bad advice from?
Yes.
Yeah. Too many hangers on. Yeah.
Parents and agents are probably two of the worst.
Parents and agents.
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
Yep. It's interesting because I think for every professional football player, there's 4 agents. Last time I checked, none of those parents or agents were up at 5:30 a.m. making breakfast to eat to then go lift and then putting in the work in the weight room and then, suffering an injury and going through that. Yeah, were you an assist? Absolutely. Is there things that you can do to help out? For sure. But, sometimes parents are riding the coattails and they're living through their kids, and that never ends up well.
Your mom kept you really well grounded from what I remember. She was a college professor, I believe. And do you feel like that? Obviously, it sounds like there's not enough of that now. But does your mom still keep you grounded today?
Oh yeah, my mom talks smack to me, 100%. 100%. If something gets sideways, she'll grade ear. Yeah. Oh man. I got the great ear comment.
Awesome. He's Gray Ruegamer. He is the Director of Player Development with the Green Bay Packers, longtime NFL veteran, now working behind the scenes with the Packers and keeping those guys right. Gray, thanks again for joining us on the Varsity Sports Show, and we look forward to circling back.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Whenever, Vince.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk, too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Wake up call!
Duran, right?
Yep.
Can you find Duran at a local casino?
Probably.
You know what's amazing? These guys, at one point, they're playing in arenas, right? And then they're going to be like, come for the buffet, stay for Duran.
Show starts at 6.
Buffet begins at 5.
Wake up call with Tony V and Ron Culver. Weekdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern.
The diehards.
I'm a monkey running around. It's tough. They can't control me. You know what I mean? I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot as it is, so it's hard enough to control anyway.
When I'm waiting to come on as a guest, I can hear you.
You can hear everything. We're doing everything. We're talking this. We're talking that. We're putting bets in. We're doing shots. No, we're not doing shots. We do shots after the show. But no, it's hard. It's being a producer in radio is really hard, and I'm being very serious. I've been doing this a long time. I've had some brilliant producers. I've had some tough ones that it's hard. It's a hard job. And managing idiots like me that sometimes it's out of your control, and it sucks too because they don't get paid that much. they need to be paid more. I wish we should start like a producer GoFundMe for producers. But some of them are really good dropping sound effects.
The Diehards, weeknights from 8 to 10 Eastern on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope for a better future. Friends, they are the future. But did you know that millions of kids are facing hunger every day? Food is not just food. It's energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Thank you!
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
Sports Map tonight with Luke Morrow.
The Browns should sign me as their starting quarterback, and here's why. I know how to slide, and I know when to slide, and that was a huge issue. I still run a 4.3 40, people, and I can throw the football 80 yards.
All due respect, I don't know RG3. Seems like a nice guy. I think this is pretty pathetic. That's why anytime a quarterback gets injured, here he is making his Shark Tank pitch. Hello, Sharks. My name's Robert Griffin III. Here's why you should sign me to play quarterback for your team. I'm better than every quarterback you have. I can throw the football 80 yards. I can still run a 4.3 40. No, I haven't been in the league for 3 years, but you know what? I now know how to slide. Cleveland, I will lead you to your first Super Bowl. And Mark Cuban will be sitting there and saying, yeah, for all these reasons, I'm out.
Sports Map tonight, weeknights from 10 to 1 Eastern. You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show on the Sports Map Radio Network. Now back to your host, Vince DeLisio.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show on the Sports Map Radio Network, and to all of our affiliates nationwide, all 100 stations. Thank you for tuning in and starting your Saturday morning off with us. What an event out here at the great park of Irvine in Irvine, California. Guys, if you are within a 1 hour drive of here, come on out here. It's a free event. Bring your transcript. You may walk out of here with a scholarship. Be ready to do a little bit of work, NFL Combine style. A lot of good stuff this morning. We are continuing our show, and stick around. We have a very special guest that will be joining us. I don't want to give it away yet because I want you to come back to find out for yourselves. But we're going to transition to our South Report with two of our best and brightest out of Texas Southern University in Houston. We got Bradley Clark and Chris Severan. Take it away, Mike.
The South Report.
Hey to everyone listening. My name is Bradley Clark, reporting from Texas Southern University here in Houston, Texas. Recently, a friend of mine here at TSU named Josh Moloch got the opportunity to do media at the Super Bowl. But while this happened, all I could think about is how while there's HBCU students just like him across the country who deserve opportunities like this, they may not get it due to the underfunding of HBCUs. Prairie View A&M junior Kendall Douglas has been impacted by the lack of funding for HBCUs, expressing how his school's administration doesn't provide many resources for its grad students.
We don't really have a lot of resources or knowledge from administration about what we can do with our degree post-grad. If I don't want to be a clinical psychologist, or if I don't want to go into the mental health field, that's just not what I want to do with my degree. What if I want to be an editor? What if I want to be a writer? What are the steps that I take to get the most out of my degree in the way that I want to do it?
Texas Southern University sophomore Evan Lee believes that the underfunding of HBCUs has robbed many deserving students of crucial opportunities to succeed and thrive.
As an HBCU student, when you're going to do certain opportunities, or you see your counterparts at other PWIs or other even smaller colleges have these opportunities, you often wonder, where are these opportunities for black students at HBCUs? It makes you feel like before you started, you already have a setback.
All overall, HBCU students want to see their schools properly funded so they can receive better opportunities for their future. Reporting on the campus of Texas Southern University here in the heart of Houston, Texas, Bradley Clark, the Varsity Sports Show.
Hi, my name is Christopher Severan from Texas Southern University, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Sports streaming, as we know, may be very different this coming fall, with ESPN, Warner Brothers, and Fox coming together to create their version of an ultimate sports streaming service. This service will not be affected by local blackouts and will host all major sports as well as collegiate sports. Other services like Fubo are trying to take actions to prevent this service from coming out. Fubo took to the courtroom saying this new service will corner the market and prevent other competitors from staying in the game. Would you sign up for this new service? Only time will tell whether we will actually see it come to fruition. My name is Christopher Severan, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
Time for Vince's final word.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show here on the Sports Map Radio Network, our 100 stations coast to coast nationwide. We are joined by a very special guest out here at the Great Park of Irvine for a very special event. His name is James Washington. Mr. Washington, I feel like I got to call you Mr. Washington. Can I call you James?
You better not call me Mr. Washington.
Yeah?
You can call me James. You can call me Pookie, whatever you want to call me.
I am just in awe.
You can call me Drive-By.
I know.
You can call me whatever you want.
That is, I don't get nicknames like that. Nobody's ever given me a nickname like that.
Well, you got to hit somebody to get a drive-by.
Yeah, okay, all right. So, James Washington, so you played at UCLA. You're tied in with this event, the Terry Donahue Memorial California Showcase. How important is this event to the lives of all these 400 young people here?
The best thing about this is that I was part of the creation in 11 years ago.
Yeah.
I played for Coach Donahue, very fortunate to go on and play in the NFL, win a couple Super Bowls with the Cowboys. And but it all started because of Coach Donahue. He came to the neighborhood, took a chance on a kid that was, a little rough around the edges.
Yeah.
But the best thing about it is what we do here.
Yeah.
Is everything that he did when he was a coach. Becoming the all Pac-12 winningest coach.
Yeah.
Is pouring into young people. The reason why he was able to get those wins is because he was able to pour into young people and give them an opportunity.
As you look back and you look around today, do you see a little bit of yourself in some of these kids?
All day, because the fact is that, I like I say, I come from Watts, so I'm from L.A., South Central, and being able to be that underdog and never being, they used to have that ranking where guys was ranked number 5 and I think I was probably a 3.
Yeah.
But my freshman year, I was starting as a redshirt freshman. So what I'm going to talk to them about today is it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Is there any such thing as, well, that school is not as good or competitive with a scholarship as that school? Does that matter here?
I think what you come out here as young people is that you show these schools you're looking for opportunity, and that's what it's about. The fact is that you're here because you're looking for opportunity. What we're doing here at the showcase is to give you opportunity. And that's pretty much what this is about. May it happen, and it's going to get worse with the NIL and all where the landscape of college football. This place is going to be more valuable a year from now. 5 years from now, this showcase will be more valuable throughout the country because we started here. It was created in Houston, but we are taking this thing countrywide.
Those of you tuning in, I am joined by James Washington, also nicknamed Drive. That's a cool nickname. I've never had anything like that. I think somebody once called me Tinkerbells, but that Drive-By. That is something. He was an all-American. He was a safety, all-pro in the NFL, and won a couple Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys. Played in the Rose Bowl. Played in multiple bowl games. When you look back at your experience with Coach Donahue recruiting you out of Watts, that whole experience, when he came in and you looked at him, looking all of 30 years old back then, even when he was 70 years old, he looked like he was 30 years old. You look back on that experience, where would you be today had he not stepped through your door?
I think what happened with Coach Donahue that was so different. Coach Donahue he started out as my coach.
Yeah.
When I retired from the NFL, he became my mentor. And the most memorable moment is when I realized that he was a true friend. My daughter played softball at UCLA. She won a national championship. In the ring ceremony, he shows up at the ring ceremony just to take a picture with my daughter at UCLA. So to talk about a man with character, a man that really focuses on impacting young people. He got me when I was 17 years old. I was a midterm graduate out of L.A. Jordan. He got me, molded me, and the promise that he kept to my grandmother when he sat on the couch, he says, I don't know where he's going to go as far as the football, but I promise you that he'll get an education. Before I went to the NFL, I had already had my BA, and then I walked away from there and then still have a master's. So I have 2 degrees because he poured into me and kept his promise to my grandmother.
In our final minute, what message can you send the parents are out here that brought their kids, some as far as 2-3 hours away to participate in this event?
Have patience and understand the process is just not something that happens overnight. And understand that you have to not blame everybody else, but only person that you can blame is how hard is your young person working when nobody else is watching. If they putting it in, or they just kind of showing up every once in a while, what are you doing when the lights are out and nobody else is watching? Are you putting in that work? Are you doing the extra? Are you studying? Are you fine-tuning your craft to be great? Because you just don't wake up and be great. Everybody doesn't have that talent.
James Washington, former NFL safety, UCLA, all everything, and an LA native.
Yes,
Gotta watch.
Yes.
James, thank you so much for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. Thank you for that, your words of inspiration, and for giving your time here this morning at the Terry Donahue Memorial California Showcase.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Guys, that's our show. We're going to wrap. Man, it's been an incredible hour here on Sports Map Radio Network. Thanks again for tuning in. I want to thank my co-host today. His name is Eitan Ohana. He is one of our broadcast interns out of the University of Florida in Gainesville. Thank you, Eitan. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Please be sure and check out all of our archive content on Twitter at Varsity Show and Varsity Sports Show on every other platform. Have a great week, everyone. Vince, out.